Hi friends, and welcome to this Brick House Bones version of an osteoporosis-friendly yoga routine. And thank you for being here and joining me. I'm Dr. Lisa. I'm a physical therapist, a yoga instructor, and someone who specializes in cancer rehab and osteoporosis. And I'm also a person with low bone mass. So I do this exercise not only for you, but for myself. Thanks for being here. Today is going to be an intermediate level class, maybe light intermediate. We're going to take our time with the poses and the movements, work the range of motion that we know benefits our bodies and helps to protect our spines, work the posture and balance activities that we also know are really helpful for someone who's trying to protect their bones. So get ready to join me here. You might need a pillow or a bolster. If sitting doesn't allow you to sit up nice and straight, we want to elevate the hips a little bit. And if you're a little restricted on your mobility and you know that, if you have a yoga block that can help you, then that might benefit you with some of the poses. Again, I thank you for being here. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. I have so many free resources for you to help you along your way of protecting your bones, building a strong, resilient body, and preventing fractures. That's our #1 goal. And I also have a wonderful private Facebook group where we support each other and share lots more information there as well. So please join the Brick House Bones family. All right, so let's get started. Get seated on your mat, and as always, be mindful of how you feel and listening to your body, and don't push into any position or pose that doesn't feel right for you today. Wonderful. All right, so noticing which leg is in front at this time, sitting up nice and tall, rolling those shoulders up and back and down, reaching the crown of the head up with a tucked chin. And maybe just close your eyes for 2 breaths and feel yourself rooting down through to the earth. And feel your energy reaching skyward through the top of your head, as if your body is almost levitating. It is so light and long and lengthened. Wonderful. You may open your eyes if they were closed. And from here, we're just going to do some gentle, small circles over our pelvis. Not big circles, but little circles that is enough that we move like this in every day, loosening up our spine, keeping that heart lifting. Good. Let's rotate the other direction. Noticing any areas that feel tight or restricted. Just breathing a little love down to that low back. Wonderful. Let's inhale both arms up, reach up, look up. Exhale the hands down to your side. Let's inhale, right arm up, reaching across, keeping the sit bones down. Tip back up and down. Maintaining that length. Inhale, the left arm up. Leaning over to the right side. Reaching up, and the arm can float back down. We're going to take the right hand over to the left leg, sit up nice and tall, and just do a gentle rotation here. So a lot of concern sometimes about twisting, but it's forceful end range twisting that we are cautious of. But this gentle, mindful twisting, just to the feeling of stretch, is okay. So reaching across to the other side, making sure our vertebrae are stacked one on top of the other, that we're not slouched, so tall. Just taking the slack out here and getting a nice, gentle, feels good stretch. Good, and release. Let's extend the arms long, bend the elbows, and we're going to try to bring both forearms and palms together. So you can drop them down and raise them up, keeping the forearms together. This can be very tight across the middle back for some people. Last breath. Exhale it out. Let's extend these arms long, palms up. Grab the fingers of one hand, stretch them back towards you. Stretching the wrist and the forearm. Maintaining that tall sitting posture. Good. Release that. Grab the fingers of the other arm. Straighten the elbow as you pull back. Very good. We're going to come back into prayer position here. Elbows out wide. Press just your fingers over. Just your fingers. I have many clients that really struggle with this. Back up to straight. Press just the fingers over of the other side. Great. Lace the fingers together. Let's roll the wrists around, warming them up. Roll the wrists the other way. Good. Place your hands back behind you now, fingertips down. Lift the heart, lift the chin. Release the head, come back up to tall sitting. There's a nice open front body opening stretch right there. Let's extend the arms out. Take the right arm across the left arm. Bend the left arm, pulling the right arm across the body. Open your arms nice and wide. Other side, you may see that I confuse left and right as far as your view. It's all the same. It's okay. Just do one side and then the other. We're all here just doing what feels right to our own bodies. There's no comparison. There's no competition. This is a very kind thing we can do for ourselves. To just listen and move in a way that feels nurturing and good. Okay, place both hands on your chest, and if you can get on skin, even better. So hands on skin on your chest and slide those hands down. Now from here, you're going to close your mouth and lift your chin straight up. Big front of the throat stretch here, fascia stretch. Release the chin back down. Often, pain in the back of our neck is because things in the front are tight. And when they're tight, we get pulled into positions that puts too much tension on the back of the neck. So these 3 directions of stretching the front of the neck are really helpful. They've been very helpful to me over the years. So next, the chin is going to go up and to your right. And release that chin back down. We're still holding the chest down with our hands. Chin goes up and to your left. Wonderful. So loosening up the front of the neck to help improve our head position on top of our shoulders. Now, sweep your left arm behind your back and keep your left shoulder down. Right arm's going to come up over the top of the head and just gently pull your head down as if you were smelling your own armpits. One more breath here. And release the head. Let's switch. Take your left arm behind your back. And your right arm is going to come up over the top of the head and very gently rotate you down and to the left. Maintain that tall spine in this position. And release your head, release the hands. Let's switch the front leg just to make sure we balance things out just a little bit here. Coming back to our circles. There's always a favored leg, the favored way we like to cross. Important to balance that out. Switching direction here. Let's hold the hands on the knees, lift the heart, lift the chin. Come back down to tall. Pull the knees, lift the heart and chin. Seated cow pose. Relax into just tall spine position. One more. And relax. Let's inhale the arms up. Exhale into W arms. Put those elbows down into your back pocket, squeezing down. Open heart. Inhale up. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale up. Exhale, squeeze. Last one. Big reach. Exhale. I feel without a doubt yoga was one of the most important things that I incorporated in my life many years ago to improve my posture and my spine health. It's been absolutely invaluable for me. All right, I'm going to come down off my bolster and extend my legs long here. Fingers are going to be by the hips, facing forward. We're going to press through the mat, lift the heart, pull the toes back. Staff pose. So thinking about head lifting up, long spine, long legs, active legs. Those heels might even be elevated off the floor. Okay, relax the arms. We're going to hug the right knee into the chest. Let's circle the ankle a couple of times here, both directions. Good. Now cross that right knee over your chest. Keep the chest lifting. If it's available for you, wrap that left elbow around that knee. Other hand reaches back behind you as you lift your heart, and we get a nice stretch through the hip and glutes and low back. Again, we're not forcing twisting, we're not forcing the leg, but we're getting a very important stretch on these muscles that attach to our hip. Doing it intentionally, mindfully, patiently. Sometimes we need that reminder to be patient, to allow things to release. Returning our shoulders back to the front, releasing that leg, extending it out long, resetting to make sure we're up nice and tall. Hug the left knee in, circle the ankle. Good. Cross it across your chest, across your leg. Take the right arm and wrap that around if it's available to you. If not, you may just hold it with your hands. Other hand goes back behind so that you can prop up nice and tall. hugging that knee towards the right shoulder. Being mindful, intentional, gentle. Just noticing what you feel. Breathing into any areas of restriction. Coming at your practice with compassion and gentleness. Let's release that leg, extend it out long. Plant those fingers again back into staff pose. Wonderful posture pose. Good. We're going to roll on to hands and knees. And let's take a moment and just turn the palms away from each other so the fingers are facing away from each other. I'm just going to loosen up the wrists a little bit by rocking side to side. Loosening up those forearms and those wrists. We're going to be preparing for a little downward dog coming up. Good. You can walk those arms forward. Reach the hips straight back for our little intro child's pose. Looking on that length through the spine here. Let's walk the hands close to the body, coming up, and hopefully you have this available to you, this knee range of motion, being able to sit. You can tuck the toes here and sit up high on your heels that way. And we're going to work this hip hinge motion coming from tall kneeling, reaching the hips back with a straight spine. So you can do it toes tucked or toes flat. Up to tall. So hip hinging is a very important move in safe spine movement. Being able to bend at the hip versus bending at the low back. And having adequate knee range of motion is really important for that. And yoga can be such a helpful tool to maintain that mobility. Okay, coming here now, we will tuck the toes, and if you need a block here, you may put a block back here. You can use the block or your foot to rest your hand. So one hand reaching back, other hand reaching up and looking up, and let those hips come forward. And you can have the hand on your block or your foot. And as you release that, really move from your core, move from your center as you come back down. Let's inhale both arms up. Sweep the other arm back to the foot. Reaching back, lifting the heart, hips are pressing forward. It's a modified version of camel. And I modify it because that's what works best for me. And I think it's a safer way to move in and out of that pose as well. Okay, wonderful. So coming back into hands and knees with the toes tucked, we're going to push into the feet, stretching those toes and lower legs, and rock back. Push into those feet. Good. Always important to warm up the feet also. All right, so I stepped my hands a little bit more forward, and then we're going to press through the toes, lifting the hips up and back. And from here, we can tread the feet. So your hips are up, your heart should be sinking down between your arms, should release the head, and we're treading the feet to loosen up the back of the legs. Now, lift those heels up and drop both of them back and down. Let's take a couple of breaths here. If your heels don't reach the ground, join the club. Mine never have. It's okay. On the next inhale, float forward into high plank position. Keep that heart open and lifting. Drop the knees nice and wide. Bring the big toes together. Reach back. Child's pose. Float forward. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Now flow with me here. We are going to lift the back leg. So left leg is going to reach up. We're going to float forward into plank and bring the knee forward. Push back. Reach the left leg up. Three-legged dog. Float forward with the knee forward. 2. Last one. Bring the foot beside the other foot. Drop the knees. Sit back, child's pose. You may roll those hips a little side to side. I find this feels really good on the low back. Float forward. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips. We're going to inhale the right leg up. High plank. Knee comes forward towards the hands. Right leg up. Knee towards the chest. Push it back. Three-legged dog. Flip forward into that high plank with the knee in. Last one. Reach up. Bring the hands down beside the others. Downward facing dog. Spiral those elbows forward. Drop the knees. Walk yourself up to tall kneeling. Nice job, everybody. We've got the intensity coming up a little bit here. So if you need to, you can use a little support, but we're going to swing one leg forward. And if you need blocks, you may use blocks for a little extra support by your foot. So we're going to come into this position here, keeping the heart lifting the back toe, and seeing if we can just levitate those fingers a little bit. If you can't, if you need to maintain that support, that's okay. See if you can just levitate those fingers just a little bit with a nice long spine. Okay, drop the knee. Let's lift the arms up. Hands to heart center. Let's bring the hands forward. Peel the left hand back and turn and look at that hand. Keeping the knee out in the front on top of the ankle. Swim that arm back. Hands to heart center. Let's take your hands back to the block. Sweep that leg back. Place the other leg in front. Tuck the back toes. Hands on the blocks if you have them, if you need them. Lifting the back knee. Really putting a lot of pressure on that front leg, building a little heat there. Now you can stay right here. You don't need to lift the hands at all. Or you can hover those fingertips above the blocks. Building some strength in that front leg. And lower down. Definitely a little more heat involved in that one. Let's roll the arms up, sweep them up, however you want to bring them up. Good. Hands come forward. We're going to peel the right hand back this time. Turn and look at it. Swim that arm forward again. Hands come back down. Let's bring the feet together up to standing. Okay, working into our Warrior 3 balance pose. We're going to step one foot back, Hands come back, palms facing forward, long spine here. Building into this power stance. Building these postural muscles. Good, now sweep the arms up. Good. Finding that length in your body. Hands to heart center, step the feet forward. Take a breath here. Step the other foot back. Bring the hands back, palms facing forward, hinging at the hip for that long spine from right heel to your shoulders. Creating some tension on that forward leg. Sweep those arms forward. Nice job. You need to be patient with the process. Hands to heart center, step your feet together. Take a breath here. So next we're going to work a progression of that into our balance pose today, which is going to be warrior 3. So again, and on the same first leg we did last time, we're going to come into this extended position and hands extended back. And we're going to try to go light on those back toes. Now, if you still need them, that's just fine. But if you can lift that back leg into warrior 3 balance, that is your challenge. Good. Tilt back. Bring the toes back down with control. Nice job, everybody. Feet come back together. This is one of my all-time favorite yoga poses for bone health and osteoporosis. It takes strength to hold that position. It has a lot of posture component, and it's balance. It just covers so much. It's just one of my favorite poses. Okay, so stepping that foot back, getting weight onto that front leg, getting that back foot light, and then trying to lift up. Bringing the heart forward. Fingertips are reaching back behind you. Finding that root through your foot. That stable position, that length through the back leg that's lifting, strength in the down leg. Excellent. Tap that toe down gently. Good. Bring those feet back together. Nice job, everybody. Let's take a breath here. I inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hip hinge. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step back with your right foot. Drop the knee. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to your hips, tuck the back toes, lift the foot, step your feet together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hip hinge. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to your hips, step the left foot back and down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, we're going to bring the knees back together, bring our hands down to the mat, and come down onto our bellies. Place the elbows down beside your chest, and your hands are down approximately beside your face. We're going to tuck the chin up with a long neck and peel ourselves off the mat and lower back down. Tuck the chin, lift the head, press through the fingertips, lift through the upper back. Baby cobra. Release. Draw the chin back, lift the head, press through the fingers, press through the elbows. Open that front body, strengthen that upper back, and lower back down. Good job. You may fold your hands together over your forehead so you can rest your head straight down. Let's tuck the toes. And I'd like you to press your pubic bone into the floor and lift your left leg straight up and then down. Lift your right leg straight up and then down. Left leg. Excellent. Hands come beside the shoulders. Push straight up, lifting the hips. Sit back, long spine for child's pose. And open up those facet joints a little bit. Now we're going to roll back onto our back sides. Knees may be bent, feet as wide as your mat. Place the hands behind the head into double your butterfly position here. If it's comfortable, T position if butterfly position is too tight. So you can have your arms out straight or just behind your head. Sway both knees over to the right. Just letting them kind of fall there naturally. 2 breaths here. Noticing the contact with the floor as we roll on back. Sway those knees to your left. Thanking your body for the way it was able to participate today. Thanking yourself for all the ways that you show up for yourself, because we all know you show up for everybody else. Hugging those knees into your chest and just doing some gentle circles with those knees, clockwise and counterclockwise. Placing one foot on the mat, holding behind the right knee. Bring the toes back as you flex that heel up to the ceiling. Bring that knee back down and give it a nice big hug to your chest or shoulder. Making sure that we have enough hip and knee range of motion to do the movements we need to do to protect ourselves. We're grabbing the left knee, grabbing behind that thigh, pressing the toes back and the heel up. And release that knee. Give that knee a hug in towards that same side shoulder. And next is the most important part, where we integrate all this wonderful movement into our bodies, into our nervous system, calming ourselves, creating that response, that internal physiological change that we're looking for, that nervous system response that we're looking for. So extend those legs out, wiggle your body any way you need to, release those arms to your side. Close your eyes if it feels comfortable for you. Let's just take a few seconds here to bring awareness to your body, to any sensations that you're experiencing, knowing that the only moment we ever have is this moment right here. And I'm so grateful to be sharing it with you. I thank you for your presence, for your attention, for your compassion for yourself in this practice today. I'll see you next time. Namaste.